You're not quiet. You're obnoxious. Let me turn you down. Okay.
Recording in progress.
Well, let's stand for the flag salute. Let's do that. First, foremost, hats off. Salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good. 151, we are talking about, oh yeah, we are talking about adjectives again. Remember last week we talked about coordinate adjectives? If there's two in a row and they independently describe the noun, it's called coordinate and you do need a comma. Remember we talked about if you can reverse them, if you can put and in between them, then it's a coordinate adjective and you need a comma. But this week we are going to talk about something called cumulative adjectives. Cumulative adjectives have a certain order that they go in. So I'm going to have you just peek ahead at page 152. On the back of that, there's a chart there. And you see the categories on the left column, it says quantity, opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, and purpose. Those are in a certain order when you describe something in English. That's how it goes. And we're going to watch a little video from Khan Academy. Are you guys familiar with Khan Academy? Some of you maybe, yeah. And he's going to explain what a cumulative adjective does and the order that it goes in. But he uses a word that's dosa scomp. I know, it's a weird word and my board is full. So I'm going to just find a spot right here on that page where you have your chart. And somewhere in the side, in that grayed out area, I want you to put, or do you have a grayed out area? No, okay, the white area, whatever. Dosa scomp, all capitals, right here. I'll circle it so you can find it because I don't want to erase all that. Dosa scomp, it's a made up word. It's kind of like when we have www.asia or fanboys. It's a word to help us remember the order of these adjectives. It starts with a D. And in this video, you're going to see that the D is going to stand for determiner. So on the left of where you see that word quantity, you see that word quantity on that list, right next to that on the left side, put determiner, determiner. The determiner could be, oh, did I have you write it in the wrong spot? I see you guys erasing, sorry. Could be an article, a, an, or the, could be a number. But it's something, it could be something like several or few or a word like that. Okay, that's an adjective too. So let me play this video real quick and then it'll make more sense and we'll talk about it a little bit more. I know, I'm all tired, but we're gonna make it. We are going to survive. We will survive. We will survive.
Hey, Paige.
Hi, David.
Hey, so Paige, I went to the grocery store yesterday and I got this apple.
Okay. So, why is it quiet? Does anybody know why it's quiet? Because we're quiet today. No, aside from that, the actual video is quiet. Really? Because I played it earlier and I'm trying to share it. Share sound, optimize video sharing.
No, still not that loud. It's just a laptop. And then when you sneeze, it goes up like a million.
And I put it in the fridge. And this morning, when I
don't like it. It's too quiet. So if you're watching this recording, I'm going to send you the link to the video because I think it'll play better if I'm not sharing
opened
it.
the fridge, the apple was all like gross,
Just kidding.
sticky.
Why is it still? Oh.
And I really want to write a letter to the grocery store and say, hey.
And say, hey.
So, grammarians, if you're a native English speaker, the phrase French old white house might seem a little weird to you. If you're not a native English speaker, it might not. And this is something that I didn't really know about before I started preparing to teach this course. is that there is a specific order that adjectives go in English. This is something that I think we just pick up as English speakers. But if you didn't grow up speaking English, it gets a little tricky sometimes. So the question is, in order to make this seem right, what order do you put these adjectives in? As near about as I can reckon it, making this into the old white French house. Because there is an order and it goes like this. Determiner, opinion,
That's your list.
size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose. Or for short, dosascomp. Dosascomp. Oh, okay. That's actually kind of a thing. So a dosa is a South Indian flatbread, and scomp, I'm gonna say, is a word for eating. It's not a word, that's a made-up word, but dosascomp. It's like, sounds like scarf to me. Or chomp.
Right there.
And both of those are verbs that can denote eating, as well as scarf being a garment. So, dosascomp. I just want you to imagine sitting down to a delicious South Indian meal and scomping on some dosas. So, dosascomp. Determiner, and that's words like the or an. Opinion, this is, when you're describing something, there are certain descriptors that not everyone would agree with. So if you're looking at a piece of black metal, everyone will be able to agree that it is black. But if you think it's cool looking or ugly looking, anything that anyone could conceivably disagree about, that's an opinion. So cool, for example, that would be an opinion. Size, so the cool, big, old, square, black. An origin usually can be, where it's from. So let's say Texan, and then, okay, so we have material, so let's say leather, because leather can be black, and then purpose. This is sort of where we would use what's called a participle or a gerundive to determine what the thing is for. So if we were talking about, I don't know, a lawnmower that you ride around on, right? That's called a riding mower. Right, and the last thing here is the thing itself. So we're looking at, okay, so this thing is the cool, big, old, square, black Texan leather riding mower. But frankly, in most normal English sentences, you're probably never going to use more than 3 adjectives to describe a given thing, like old white French house. Now, sometimes you might find yourself using more than one adjective that fits into the same category. So you might say the exciting, unparalleled green dragon. And you'll notice I put a comma there because when you use 2 adjectives from the same category, so 2 opinions, the exciting and unparalleled, you want to separate them with a comma.
That's coordinate.
But generally, if you're just scooting down the dosascomp, old white French house, you don't need to separate these non-coordinate adjectives from each other. And we'll get more into commas in the punctuation section. But for now, all you need to remember is dosascomp. And if you've never had a dosa, I strongly urge you to look up recipes online, go to a South Indian restaurant, and make and eat this delicious food. And then you're just going to scomp on some dosas. So determiner, opinion, size, age, dosa, shape, color, origin, material, purpose, and then the thing. That's the order that adjectives go in English. Why is this? I have no idea. Sometimes language can be really... the word I tend to use is arbitrary. You can call it random if you like. This is just the way that we've arrived at this order is just basically through random chance and convention. And what seems to sound right. And what sounds right for English isn't always what sounds right for other languages. For example, the way we're using adjectives here, we're always putting them to the left of whatever they modify. The exciting parallel green dragon, it's all to the left. It's all old white French house. It's all, on this one side of it. And other languages don't do that necessarily. So when you're trying to just throw a bunch of adjectives together on the left side of a noun, this is the order. Just remember, dosa scamp. And that's how adjective order works in English. You can learn anything. David out.
Okay.
Hey, grammarians. Hey, Paige.
Hi, David. We're good. We're good. So I like that video because it does explain in a clear way how to put these adjectives in a certain order. So when you have a bunch of adjectives in a row, that's what you're going to look for. That's basically what this lesson is. If it's a cumulative adjective like this, where it goes in a certain order, you don't need a comma. But if it's two adjectives from the same category, like he said, then you do need a comma. That's really all you need to know for this lesson. So let's go to the practice page on page 153. Did you have a question, Simeon? Yes, you can. Does anybody feel like reading the sentence today? Takers? Anybody? Go ahead. Thank you. Go ahead and read it.
Robin instructed, we will
It's Will, I think it's a name. Will Stutely is a name. That's like his last name, Stutely.
Will Stutely
Yes.
to make a target for smooth.
From smooth.
White to bark.
Yes.
With a measure of 4 fingers in height and 5 fingers in width.
Yeah, it's a weird sentence. So, yes, instructed is basically our vocabulary, give instructions or give orders or directions. So check that. There's one article, you can find that. And we'll just go in order. I'll have Ellie do all the 8 nouns. There's a bunch.
Okay, Robin, Will
Mhm.
Stutely, target, bark, height and width, and fingers.
Good. Fingers
Yeah,
and
fingers
fingers.
twice, yeah.
Fingers and fingers. So let me review. Robin, Will Stutely, you're gonna do like a little bracket. Is that what you were gonna say?
Mhm.
Oh, so sorry. Target, bark, and fingers, and width and height. Did you guys get all that?
Yeah. All
I
I
know.
heard was
There should be
fingers.
8. Fingers, height, fingers, width. I should go in order.
Finger, width, height.
I know, I was jumping all over the place.
Finger,
There should
finger,
be
width,
8. Make
height,
sure you have
toilet,
8
walk.
nouns, 8 nouns. All right, and then Rebecca, how about the adjectives?
Smooth,
Smooth,
white,
white,
and measure.
you don't have your book today? Oh, you got a pen or a pencil? Okay, you were just looking at me, I didn't know. Say that again? No, that's gonna be a verb. It's gonna be a number, like how many? Not
Oh,
which.
4.
4
And 5.
and 5, yes. But we gotta write those words out.
I already did.
Good, so draw a line through the actual number, spell out the number. 4 and 5. I sound like a little kid out there.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, that's
You
him.
just look
Oh,
at
I'm
me.
good, Jeremiah.
Somebody's
Somebody was-
babysitting them? Oh, that's your sister? Right there.
See you there.
Hannah,
She's funny.
she's getting so big. Anyways, coordinating conjunction, Miles?
And
Good, and? Do you know the prepositional phrases, Nora, yet?
no.
Okay, we'll come back to that. How about you do the who, which clause?
Which measured 4 fingers in height
And keep going.
and in 5 fingers.
Yes. It's a long one. So put parentheses around that. Is somebody babysitting them out there, or are they just?
They just open.
They're running.
I mean, I know there's cars out there, so that's what I worry about them. Let's see, are we missing anybody? Owen, we're missing Owen.
So
So
then you
anyway.
hit that recording in progress.
Yes, recording in progress. Where are we? Let's go down to the verbs, subject verbs. So how about Lexi? Where are the verbs at?
Instructed and measured.
Instructed and measured. And then what are the subjects that go with those?
Robin and White.
Robin and which. Very good. So now that we have subject verb pairs, where's the main clause? Simeon, do you know where the main clause is?
No, I was still working on catching up.
Oh, sorry, we're going kind of fast, huh?
Yeah.
John?
Oh, I think it goes from Robin to, Bark.
Yes, it does. Robin to bark.
Bark.
Super fast. Where does the who's clause go?
Which,
The end.
uh-huh,
Where's the end?
to the end of the sentence, with. You guys good? Yeah, okay. No, I went kind of fast there. What about do you see the prepositional phrases, Simeon? There's 3 of them in there. It's not gonna be to make. That is a infinitive, so ignore that one. Let me explain that again. Remember infinitives? When you have a verb that has the word to before it, that's an infinitive. So we're not going to mark it as a verb or a prepositional phrase, even though to could be a preposition. Does that make sense?
So we're looking for preposition.
So we're looking for, yeah, can you check on your brother and sister out there, Rebecca? Because I don't know if somebody's supposed to be watching that.
Yeah, they're spying on us.
There's which
Yeah, I can
and
see
the
him.
which.
I know, but maybe Victoria's supposed to be watching or.
What?
Is everything okay out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's supposed to be watching me right now? You're watching? Just watch out for the cars that come through. He's so cute. They're both so cute. Okay, anyways, where were we? Prepositional phrases. I know Nico knows, but let's see, Simeon, you got it? Can you find it?
I'm trying to. All of the.
So look for words that we don't have a label on yet. You know how that's a good way to find out.
Yeah, but for
It's not gonna be to make, so ignore that
That's
one.
kind of everything.
Yeah, I didn't get it all done yet.
Oh, okay, you're still working. That's okay, Simeon. Don't worry about it. There you go. Nico has it. What are the prepositional phrases?
From smooth white bark.
From smooth white bark, yes, is
In
one.
width and in.
In width and in height, good. The opener ether subject, which is number 1.
Cause he's number 1.
Indent, we already have that. 3 capitals, those are the names, Robin and Will and Stutely. What about the comma, Ellie?
Take one out between smooth and white.
Yes, smooth is technically an opinion. I know it doesn't
Yeah.
sound like it because either something's smooth or
I
not, but
feel like
it's actually an
Stupid can
opinion.
be like a tongue twister, like, you know, like if you say it like 100 times faster, just stupid.
Yeah. But smooth would be an opinion and white is a color. So that is in an order of cumulative, like we just watched the video. So no comma there. So take out the comma between smooth and white. You got that on yours, Wyatt?
He's
Good.
got mine.
Okay, that's okay. And then the end mark is a period. And we already fixed the 2 numbers. I think we got it. That was a little painful. Is everybody okay?
I'm done.
We can recover.
Finished.
Sorry, Simeon, that was like. We need to calm down a little bit.
That's what me and John do at home.
I know, everybody just starts going, okay, you can go.
Is that it?
That is it. For grammar.
Dang it.
Don't leave yet. We're not done yet. Grammar's done. Okay,
Can you just say we're done for life?
wouldn't that be nice? Well, at least next week you're gonna be done for.
Ever?
Haven't even, we haven't even
Forever.
started.
Lost my pen. Where's my
Constitution
pen?
part- Part 1.
Right.
Not finished.
Oh my
Yeah, we
goodness.
have.
That ever happened to you? I hate it. Okay. We're gonna talk about the preamble to the Constitution again. You guys wrote about the 3 body paragraphs with that. So I haven't had a chance to grade everybody's yet, but I did look at some and I think I need to explain this a little bit better. But Miles, did you have a question? Does anybody else have it memorized?
I just listened to it today.
Did you do it from the song or did you just do it from
I
memory?
did.
Would you like to say it? Wait, let's hear Miles. Everybody quiet.
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America, September 17th, 1787.
Whoa! Woo! That was really good.
Yeah,
public-
he did.
Public, schools, we have to do that every Friday.
What?
Yeah, I think the
You have to say it.
4th graders and up usually say it every
That's
single
cool.
Friday.
That's
What?
good. That's
And,
really
like,
good.
the entire school says it, and then eventually I memorized it from being in there for you.
Nice, very cool. Yes, John.
I was watching the video for last.
Okay,
And I was like, someone said the first state of America was Rhode Island.
No.
First was
No,
Delaware in
it's-
1787.
thank you for clarifing that. I mean, I'm sure we were all
Right.
wondering.
Yeah, we
We're all waiting for that moment. Thank you. We missed you, so, you know.
Virginia.
We said that.
Well, I'm glad you
It
corrected
was not
us.
Virginia either. It was Delaware.
Delaware. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Owen, he's not here to defend himself.
Objection.
You can look it up
Okay.
if you want.
You were supposed to write about 3 parts to the preamble, which is on, let's look at it together really quick again. Oops, wrong book. Hold on, hold on. That is on page 216. Yep, 216. Because some of you had trouble with how do you introduce this thing that you're talking about. It is part of a preamble to the Constitution. It's almost like if you read a book, it's like that preface. Have you seen a preface before? And when you read like preface or preface, that's how you pronounce it. But it's basically like a little bit about the author, a little bit about what inspired them to write the book. And so you kind of have a little, it's almost like an introduction. The preamble is that to the Constitution. It's telling us what's in the Constitution. So all those things you listed, all those things on page 216 that we numbered, those are goals and the purpose for the Constitution. So here's how you can start a paragraph with this. A lot of you struggled with, how do I start a paragraph? One goal is to, and then you actually use the words from the from the preamble, establish justice. Sorry, I didn't mean to spit. So one goal is to establish justice, and then you explain, what does that mean? This means to be sure all people are treated fairly. That's what establishing justice means. That's what it says on there. Next to establish justice. Then, and of course I used my handy dandy dress ups and sentence openers for you. If people were not treated fairly, there would be anger and chaos among everyone. In order to establish justice, there needs to be a court system. Historically, court systems
So why does the goal look?
have judges who determine whether someone is put in prison. I almost said goes to prison. I was like, wait, that's a bad word. So put in prison because they committed a crime, justice is served. So
You gotta get it while it's hot.
that is an example of how to write about a part of the preamble. Okay, does that make sense to you guys? Anybody have any questions about that? Because what you're doing is you're using the actual words from the preamble. That's a goal. So establish justice is a goal. Ensure domestic tranquility is a goal. Provide for the common defense is a goal. Promote the general welfare. That's all goals of the Constitution. Okay, I just want to make sure that was super clear because some of you were a little confused on that. The prompt, which is the part that you're writing about, and I put goals and purposes one. It is purpose, the purpose for the preamble. What are the goals? What is the purpose of the preamble? It's to establish justice. It's to do all of those things. And it is the preamble of the Constitution, the US Constitution. Okay. Did everybody get to finish your paragraphs this week?
No.
Some people haven't because of testing. I know it's crazy right now. You got yours done?
You raised
The
me or-
introduction. I wrote out the entire preamble, and I started writing, I was like, this is technically 2 paragraphs. And I separated it, and I was like, I don't want to do the introduction, because then, it's just fine, so I just deleted all of it. And
Oh.
I just deleted the introduction, it was just a preamble. And it took, like,
Well, we're doing an introduction today, so hopefully you saved it somewhere. You might need it.
He saved it in his back pocket.
I wrote it in another Google.
You should have 3 paragraphs though, because remember on page 218 is where you have your keyword outline, so it should be 3 separate goals or purposes of the Constitution. I'm gonna have Rebecca go and then I'll have you go.
Oh, I forgot my question.
Took too long to get to you. How about you?
The reason I did not do it is because we got back from the beach and I got sick.
Mm.
No, my mom got sick.
Ah.
And she's sick. Right now, but
Oh,
she's feeling better.
Yeah, my entire family's kind of stuck.
oh no. I know there's stuff going on. It should get better though, because the weather is finally getting warm. So yes, Rebecca's your.
I'm guessing you're probably grade 9 because mine I submitted on Tuesday.
Okay, I haven't looked at everybody's yet, so that's okay. Any questions about those paragraphs though, because it wasn't super clear. So the preamble, you're gonna pick 1 or 3 technically. And then write what would the world or what would our country be like without that goal? Like I said, if we didn't have justice, then people would be getting away with all kinds of crime and it would be chaotic.
But no
Chaos.
chaos.
And anger because, it's not fair when
But
somebody,
it's fun when that happens.
no, not really, maybe for a moment, but not for a lifetime.
Maybe for like a game, man. Not for like real life.
So we're gonna go on to the next lesson then, and it's gonna start on 225. So flip over to 225. We're gonna keep going with the preamble. So this is gonna be the rest of this paper. And then you'll finish the preamble before spring break, and then we'll start with, actually, I'm excited, after spring break. We are gonna look into the Constitution. We're gonna look at amendments. We're gonna also look at Supreme Court cases, which to me is pretty interesting, yeah. And then we're gonna see real live cases that have happened and how they used the amendments in the Constitution to defend a case. Yes.
Well, no, I'm going to try to learn memorize the Bill of Rights.
Oh, wow, that would be awesome too. Yes, that would be awesome. I have not memorized that one yet.
You don't need to know your rights.
Well,
All you gotta do
I
is
disagree with
all you
that.
have to do is just unbook the 5th. No,
Fifth Amendment.
that's
Yeah.
all you have to do.
Do you know that?
What is the Fifth Amendment?
I'm not.
Does anybody know the Fifth Amendment?
I used to memorize these.
What is it?
I need to remember.
Freedom of
Remember.
speech, so, and there's a freedom to not speak. It's like both ways, remain silent. All right,
Because everything you will be used against you.
Yeah.
Will be used against you.
in court, yes.
Sorry, I was partying last night. This man was partying and drinking alcohol while he was driving.
Yep. Okay. We're on page 225 where this is the conclusion we're gonna start with. The first step, look at where it says Roman numeral 5 down toward the bottom there. This is gonna be your 5th paragraph. Yes. What, did I say something? Anybody need this still? No, you got the idea here.
I do.
It's going bye-bye. Bye,
No
bye.
stop.
I have it recorded if you ever want to go back and go, what did she write? If you copy it, then, that's not right either, so don't copy it, but you can get the idea.
Yippee. The best part's still not erased.
Roman numeral 5, and this is where you're gonna restate, this is the last paragraph, topic A, topic B. Now think back on your paragraphs and you can look back if you need to on page where we did your keyword outline. That was back on page 218. So you keep your book open. What was your first topic? Established justice. Okay, perfect.
I feel like everyone did the exact same thing.
So you're gonna put, I like to write a sentence here. I know they only give you a little bit of space, but something about if your first body paragraph. Now remember, the body paragraphs are the ones in the middle. So if it's a 5-paragraph essay, these are the body paragraphs. I should go like this. Okay, these are the bodies. This would be like introduction, body paragraphs, conclusion. Yes.
So I have to rewrite my 3 paragraphs since I now you graded them.
Well, yeah. Maybe not the entire thing,
Okay.
but yeah,
Mark, do you-
we'll talk about it later, but
See mine.
you can keep your same topics though. Whatever your first topic was, if it was established justice, which I think it was. So in this line here, think of one sentence to kind of sum up what established justice is like. And it could be how it's used in our country, like, it is important to establish justice among the people to keep the peace or something like that.
Because they need to keep the peace.
Because,
Or they
and then
want-
you're looking for a place to use a dress up, that's good. So think of a sentence, you're gonna have to write pretty small. But make a sentence with your first topic. You guys understand what I mean about that? Okay. If your first topic was established justice, then put a box around established justice wherever it is in the sentence. Because you're gonna highlight those words in the paragraph when you go to type it. I can't tell if everybody's just like lost or just really tired. Are you guys really tired?
No, I'm just.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, yes.
I'm tired because I was up till 11 Saturday and then I got up at 4:30 Sunday and got back at 11.
Oh, yeah, that's tired. Yeah, you're definitely tired.
Oh,
You're tired.
Baseball
Yeah.
tournament, we're looking at an 8 o'clock game, because that means we have to get up at 5, because yesterday they're at 7 in Bakersfield.
Oh my gosh.
So we got a 10 o'clock game, but I woke up at 5 anyways.
Oh.
And then I couldn't fall asleep. so-
That's the worst. I woke up this morning at 4. My alarm was supposed to go off at 5, and then it was like, I woke up at 4,
Yeah, whatever.
and then I tried to go back to sleep, and I'm looking at the clock, it's like 4:09, and I'm like. I'm gonna go sleep. It was like 4:12, and I'm like, oh.
No, this is
Just get
good.
My dog's just like, you're up?
You
take me
You
outside.
sleep and then you wake up at 8 o'clock.
That must be nice.
No,
Always have
so
it.
like you go, it's 4,
So how do we
you
write
literally lay back in bed, and then you hear the stupid alarm.
No, I just kept checking my watch.
Topic game.
So a sentence example, or did you have a question about this or something else? Go ahead. Yeah, that is definitely not enough, Ether.
See,
It's gonna catch up to you.
napping table again.
Yeah, except for we.
I would say something like this, establishing justice. Does anybody have a sentence already, by the way?
Nope. Yeah.
Is important
Because we need laws.
because, and you're gonna have to just squeeze it in somewhere because, without it, what would happen if we didn't have it?
People
freedom.
be dying left over.
Right? If we didn't establish justice, there would not be any justice.
Or there would
There'd be no-
not be order.
There will not be Batman.
I don't know, I'm just making something up, something like that, okay, Nico? Establishing justice is important because without it, there would be no order, meaning structure,
Well,
meaning.
there would also be no justice.
Or justice.
Yeah, they.
True, but that's pretty redundant, so
Yeah, they
it's better
never-
to just.
If you didn't establish justice, there would not be no justice.
Yeah, that's.
And then you want to put a box around establishing justice because that is your topic for that paragraph. Then you're gonna move on to topic B, so look at what you put for Roman numeral 2. Or actually technically Roman numeral 3. Roman on page 218. So if you had something like domestic tranquility.
Can I just do, since this is like the last and we're doing first, this, can I just, write all of them in order? Because I didn't do the other paragraphs.
You need to, oh yeah, you haven't done the other paragraphs yet, then you can, you're gonna pick 3, so you can look on page where.
Oh, I already did that.
You already did that, yeah, so put them in the same order, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, then you're good, yes. Just come up with a broad statement about it, okay? And then when you go to write the paragraph, obviously, you're gonna elaborate on that and give more details. So topic B, if it was domestic tranquility, I think I heard somebody say.
We do not ensure domestic tranquility. We would always be at war,
Yeah,
and there's no peace.
you could say something like another term for domestic tranquility is peace among the people, or another way to say it. Well, don't use say though, because that is banned. So another way to express domestic tranquility is peace among the people. So are you writing something for B? Or do you have something you're thinking? Okay,
already A, B, and C.
A, B, and C. Okay, good. So Simeon, you know where we're at right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna look back on your outline to see what your topics were. In the conclusion, this is when you're restating those things. You're kind of wrapping it up in a pretty bow, saying, okay, this is this and that's that. So domestic tranquility could say something like, in order, I'm thinking off the top of my head, to maintain. So
What one?
I'm doing topic B, domestic tranquility. And then you would put a box around domestic tranquility. In order to maintain domestic tranquility, the country must keep peace,
Does this sound okay? Ensuring,
something like that.
does ensuring domestic tranquility means peace among the people? Would that be fine?
Peace among, it's 2 parts. It's like peace among the people, but it's also peace between other countries too. Like China, for example, or like right now, we don't really have peace with South Korea or Iran, Iraq. I mean, it's a mess right now. Some of those-
peace with South Korea too.
Well, we're working on it. Trump is really working on it. He's, if anybody can, maybe it's North Korea. Yeah,
North.
I think it's
like bomb some sort of country, they couldn't figure it out.
North Korea.
Did you say
Did you
that?
see the rally? It's Trump.
I didn't see it, but I heard about that. Is that what you just said, or
There's
what did you
people
say?
that at the flag and it was upside down, like they're holding it upside down on purpose. My dad was.
Well, okay, we're kind of getting into politics, which is okay because that's my thing too, but I'm just gonna say. And you can look into it for yourself, talk to your parents about it, but there was a bus at Walmart. Those people were bussed in. They were not Tehachapi people. They were bussed in from, well, from LA, honestly, which makes sense, right? Because they don't like Trump in LA. So those people weren't even from Tehachapi. They're bussed in to show protest so that when people drive by, like your dad, they get mad. That's what they want. It's like, so anyway, that's just my soapbox. I'm done now with that. This whole thing is just so frustrating. Yes, Rebecca. Yes, I'm being very patriotic today, so thank you.
I knew it. You did take off your hat.
I do have like super patriotic clothes that I wear to, and I have a board meeting tomorrow night. That's what I wear there too. It's actually like a flag shirt. It's cool. Anyway, did you say something, Nico? I don't know if I answered your question or not. Peace between people and then between countries. I can't remember. You were saying something about North Korea. No, we're moving on. Never mind. Moving on.
Oh, no. I
Topic
know, I
C.
got it.
What is? Do you have one for topic C? Lexi has one. What did you put? Okay. And how did you kind of summarize that in one sentence?
It's probably should be 2 sentences.
Yeah, you can do 2 sentences if you have to. And by the way, that's okay if you need to, but did you finish it or are you still working on it?
It's hard to put a right conclusion if you haven't made the body of them.
That is hard, yes.
Is
Yes.
no a band word?
No?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Would it work as
No go.
quality adjective for bad?
No.
Or
Probably not, no. What is your sentence with the word no?
Ban becomes a ban word.
They
establishing
can't use it.
justice is important because
Cancel word.
without it, there would be no,
And then cancel
No.
a cancel word and then.
Oh.
Mansell word.
Like the people of America.
It's another word for
Like the people.
You could probably use that,
The state.
you could, that's a good question. I've never had that question before. You want to use the word no as a quality adjective.
You have to write in sign language.
Let me think about that.
Not no.
All the ideas.
I don't know. Let me think about that.
If all words became ban words, you have to write in sign language.
That's funny. All right, does everybody have something for C?
No bad words.
Yes.
Yes, what do you have for C?
Providing the common defense is needed so we can protect the people and the state of America.
Nice, I like that one. Ether?
To promote the general welfare is to do what is best for all people. Be sure to have equal rights.
Nice, I like that one too. Anybody else?
Not
want to-
everybody.
Which cause?
Wyatt?
Promoting welfare is important so that all people will have the equal rights.
Not
Okay,
making
nice.
money.
Not money, I know, I wish, but.
Everybody has no money.
But.
Anybody else want to share their C? No, nobody else
I'm
wants to share.
almost done, so.
Equal everything.
And then underneath A, B, and C is most significant. So I know, John, you're gonna have to just imagine that your paper is done.
I'm done.
Just imagine.
Wait, can we just actually like pretend our papers are done if we do?
Isn't it where you make sure it's like all three are being insured here? Like you're enlisting all three.
Yes.
My paper identifies.
Hold on, just a
It'll be
second.
very bad.
So what you're doing is this is the last paragraph of your paper, right? You already did the body. Remember I did this, so here's the body. You're restating this, you're restating that, and you're restating that in the conclusion.
And
Okay?
we're also.
That-
Oh.
Yes, and then you're gonna pick one of them. So here's a couple options for most significant. By the way, let's look at that on your page for today, on page 225. See where it says most significant and why? At the top, there's a paragraph right here. What is the most important, most interesting, or most significant thing to remember about all you wrote about and why? Think about the preamble, what the preamble reveals about the Constitution and the men who wrote it. Consider why the Constitution is necessary, important, significant, or special. Tell what you believe the overriding desire of the founding fathers was when they wrote the Constitution, or what the preamble shows about the nation. You may choose one of your topics and tell why it is most significant, or you may choose something that tells the importance of the entire subject. So you have to think about one of
Where's
the,
that at?
Can I do this after?
I'm on 225,
I can do this afterwards.
right above that. See the paragraph above where
Oh,
it
yeah.
says, yeah. So you're gonna think, you can either choose one of the things, one of your topics, or you can choose what is most significant about the Constitution as a whole.
That is why. Or those three reasons.
So you would say
Like
something, you would
important.
start by this, the most significant.
I'm just gonna write to be determined because it's.
To be continued.
I would say fact
I'm not gonna do it right now.
about
They do to be continued.
the preamble
Absolute Never.
is blank. What is the most significant fact? It is,
Making
It-
sure
the-
everyone
is-
has all treated fairly.
make sure everyone has rights, they're all treated fairly, we're safe. I mean, you can have a lot of different ways of saying that, but try to narrow it down to one big thing. What is the most important thing to take away from this paper?
I'm gonna do this later because I haven't wrote it.
Justice.
If you take away the paper.
Just.
Do you have an idea, Ellie? What do you have?
I already wrote mine. The
Okay.
most significant thing about the Constitution is the way it binds our country together, ensuring liberty and fairness for all the people.
Nice. I like that binds the people together. It's very good.
What if my paper identifies as it's finished and it's 100% done? 100%.
Then it's still gonna get a 0 unless I can see it
Just
on
say,
Google.
But no, it's 100% though, it says.
just send her a message that says to be continued
On
on episode never.
Well, you're just gonna have to, you can start working on, if you wanna start working on your outline, you can do that today, because I know you guys are a little behind on that. Here, did you have an idea, most significant?
I'll do the
The
introduction.
most significant fact about the
Yeah.
preamble is I'm done.
I mean, maybe not like.
And then you wanna say because, and don't say because I'm done. Okay, because blank, make sure you explain why
I
in
won't
that
be- I won't
sentence.
say
The
because
most
I'm done.
significant part is that to be continued in season 2.
You're probably gonna have to work on this later if you haven't written anything for that part yet. You okay?
Yeah, I'm just tired.
Just tired, yeah, I know, you're gonna
I
be
will
okay.
finish this lane.
And then, let's see,
Start to be continued now.
go to page 227 next. This is the introduction. What we're doing is setting it up for you to do the conclusion and the introduction. That's your homework for this week, is to finish those 2 paragraphs, okay?
My homework is all of it.
Yeah, well, it's okay, you're not the only one. So the introduction starts with an intention getter. Is this the first time we've done
I'm so
introductions and conclusions, or have we done that?
We've done that once.
Okay, good. So you can write a question, you can do a VSS, you can find a quote
Have you ever thought about?
online.
Oh, I have a dream.
I have a dream.
That one doesn't really work.
We already did that one.
What about dreams of preamble?
What's a VSS? What's a good VSS we could say? And the war began?
That works.
I don't think that works for the preamble.
It works though.
The preambles are important. The important.
Have you memorized all of the Constitution?
What if we
No.
speak in Yoda?
It's not a thing.
No, we gotta speak in Jabba the Hutt.
We knew someone who memorized the entire Bible.
We mix the
What?
words up.
Well, we knew someone who
Guys, I'm
Why-
taking off topic.
husband's
No, it's not.
mentor.
Ow.
That's confusing.
All right,
Speaking-
So your attention getter, this is gonna be for Roman numeral 1. So your attention getter could be a question like,
Why are the rights?
Oh, I had.
what's a
I-
good
I
question?
Don't have
It
one.
was, so I wrote down the preamble and I said, have you ever heard of this before? And
Good.
that's what I used. in
It's
my
very
answer.
short sentence too.
You got one? Oh, have you ever heard of this before? This
Have you ever heard the, why is the preamble?
Yeah, I said, this is a
Why
preamble.
is the preamble important? Give me 5. She did a question and a VSS.
I will do that.
Why is the preamble? We're gonna steal Lexi's idea. Why is the preamble important? If you like that, you'll have to pay Lexi later for
What?
that.
Give
Give her right.
My money.
You have to like
I've got.
quote her and say, according to Lexi.
I'll give her
What
a cheat.
is the-
I'll pay her in a
If
cheat
someone
sheet.
does something, credits to it, and or something.
Yeah,
That's fine.
credit to Lexi. Put in
I'll pay
parentheses.
her in a cheat sheet.
You have one?
I did a perfect union under God.
Ooh, I like that one too. A perfect union under God.
Okay, I'm
That's a good
taking
one.
55 cents.
Anybody else have any attention getter ideas? Background is the next part.
It is the
The preamble was part of the Constitution, which was made in 1787, right?
I like that.
And that,
1770s.
What would the background of the preamble?
76.
No, 1787.
How did we do the background?
It's 1787.
Like when it was made?
I win.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, January.
I win.
I have like.
I won.
It's like a-
Anyway,
It's February something.
okay. On page, go back, I know we're flipping back and forth here, 216, where the actual preamble is written. At the top, there is some historical information. You can use information from that. I don't want you to copy exactly the sentence, but you can use information from there as background. Or if you're like John and you know when it was written and you know a lot of
And
everything pretty much. You can call John and say, John, I need some background information on the
Oh,
preamble.
I
will
have
give
a
in.
living.
One or two sentences about the background.
I'll give you teachers and
The
also.
background count as the backyard.
Background is like the history behind it.
But does it
Oh,
count
as
as
backyard.
No.
Back.
Because it's background.
The witch pond.
Ground is yard.
Which is the witch pond?
With which?
Or what again? All the witch pond.
Does he say that all the time? I would.
Possible.
That's all you have to do is go into the history
Like when we
information
say.
and just find some one or two sentences and then just phrase it.
Cause he's first.
Thank you.
Always the competitions. So you can look at that page on 216. Okay, on 216, that historical information, see if you can see anything in there that you want to mention in your background. You might need a sentence or two there. Remember, you got to fit in all your dress ups and everything, so you might need to add sentences later. The only thing you don't have to do is the topic clincher,
Okay.
but
Wait, what?
you do have to, for introduction and conclusion, you don't have to do your topic clincher
What is the
sentences.
Constitution?
But you do have to highlight your topics. That's why I put a box around those words.
Oh, the topic.
It's 7:7.
Were we supposed to highlight them last time? we did the introduction?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But the topic.
No.
Nick, I think I did.
That's okay.
Apparently.
If you
Nico found
did,
something.
it's okay, but you don't have to.
I'll say it.
Credit to
Created
Nico.
three branches of government and protected the basic rights of all citizens of every state.
Oh, look at
That's good. I like it.
Made a government.
May the government, is there more to that?
The second.
I'm like waiting for the punchline. What are we saying?
Some government protected basic rights of all citizens.
Looks like you guys are figuring it out. You don't want to copy those sentences exactly, so you want to reword it a little bit, so it's not, you're not plagiarizing.
I love plagiarizing.
I know. Can't do that.
Well, then you're plagiarizing your
John's
brain. No. Yeah.
Because I am my brain.
Okay,
So I'm not plagiarizing.
let's think for a minute.
Yeah, well, your brain's-
Hey, guys. Once you get the background figured out, the next step is topic A, B, and C again, but this time you're going to write a sentence that introduces it, like
That's what
maybe.
Oh, sorry.
But don't copy the same sentences you did for your conclusion, okay? For topic A, you're still gonna do a sentence about like establishing justice. Because that was one of your first paragraphs, that was your first paragraph. But you don't want to use the same sentence you used in your conclusion. You want to change it up a little bit, so it's not repeating too much, but you want to use the words establish and justice and put a box around those words, whatever your topic A, topic B, and topic C.
Your marker is dying.
I know. It's time to go home. Yes.
I have to write all this because I already have it in my brain. I don't know what I'm doing.
Is it gonna stay in your brain? That's my question for you.
How will it get out?
It's just a preamble and then a question.
How will it get
And then
out?
saying what it is. Answering.
Yes, as long as you can keep it in your brain, yes.
I don't have anything. Would establishing justice.
See, that's why I have to write down everything. Say that one more time.
Establishing justice punishes the wrongdoing.
Yeah, that's part of it. I would say something like establishing justice enables punishing wrongdoing. Cause it's not just that, there's more to it than that, but that is one thing it does. Enables, you got it, you can do this, Nico, you can do this. Well-
Punishments too, then I'm doing it.
There we go.
And then we're gonna look at a checklist. I know we didn't get to the other style practice and all that, but
Do we have keywords? Like
vocabulary words.
vocabulary words.
We do not have any new vocabulary words.
20.
Yes, so you will choose from that list page at the back,
Yeah.
any two.
Establish.
You put one in the introduction, one in the conclusion. You know what I'm talking about in the back of the book?
Yes.
Okay, good.
3 paragraphs.
Okay, good.
I need to establish justice and justice ain't shut
Let's look at the checklist really quick. That's gonna be, I know it's going fast. Sorry, guys, 229. This is what I wanted to point out here because look where it says, actually, introduction first. Look where it says introduction. It says introduction includes attention getter, background information, and states topics. And notice how it says bold or highlight. Those are just the topic words. Does that make sense to you guys? You're not going to do topic clincher for the introduction and the conclusion. The format is a little bit different. You're going to highlight the words in the sentence and it's in the middle of the paragraph. That's okay. Highlight the topics for those 3 body paragraphs. Does that make sense to you guys?
Done.
Well, no, not yet, but does that make sense? That's my question.
Already done.
That was kind of rude. Look at where it says body on your checklist. So I'm on page 229. See where it says body? Insert body paragraphs.
Really, that's only 2 points? Feel like it should be more.
I don't follow those points, but, and then look at conclusion, restates topics, bold or highlight, and indicates the most significant and why. So your, it doesn't say topic clincher anywhere on here.
Well, yeah, maybe they took it out because you're not supposed to do it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I still do it. I still want you to do it in your body paragraphs, but normally it says it there, so I don't know why.
Yeah, so it says the preamble
Because you
part,
know
the
it's
introduction and the conclusion. I'm assuming you
Oh,
have the introduction and conclusion
Well,
to
body's
the
just, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I get it.
So the introduction
Okay,
and
yeah, if you
highlight.
go to the other, if you go to the other checklist on 221, it does have topic linker there. You're right, thank you for clarifying that. So you're just inserting the body paragraphs that you already did, basically. Yes, here.
Dress up to the introduction.
I didn't know
and
we were supposed to
conclusion. That's what
I know.
I thought there was.
That's what it says to do. It's not me, don't be mad at me.
It's gonna sound horrible.
But you're a teacher.
Just for one.
John,
Since I didn't do the first 2 or first couple.
the body paragraph?
Yeah, do I have, how many vocabulary words do I have to use?
The rule was 2 in the body paragraphs and then 2 in the introduction.
Okay, so 4.
So
Just
4
for
altogether.
this one, sheet.
4, so can it be spread out around
Yep.
anywhere?
Mhm.
Just for this one.
Even through the body paragraphs, if it's.
No, I have to do dress ups, yes, dress ups. You guys are used to it now. You're probably using them automatically anyway, most of them.
No.
Well, you should be.
It's gonna make it so easy.
You should be. And your sentence openers too.
I try to, sometimes it works.
And just think, you're gonna have a week off next week, so just get this done. I recommend you get this done before the weekend.
I'm gonna get it done
I was trying to decide what to say,
Before
because this is Monday. You can do it tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Try to get it done before the weekend so you can actually have a week off. So you're not thinking the whole time, I gotta write my paragraphs.
Okay.
Not so stressful. I hate that, so.
I don't have.
So try to do it before Friday. And you're gonna put them all together. So you're gonna turn in 5 paragraphs all together.
That's what I'm doing.
Yep, mine is like shiny.
And for about 4.
Well, it's harder to do the introduction first, but you can try, you can try.
My mom section.
Any questions about the homework?
Seems like you should do the first.
Any questions about anything? Time to go. That's it.
It's
Good job,
time
you
for you
guys.
to go watch.
Time for one.
Actually,
Have a
I
great
have
week.
like 5.
I'll
but
see you in
they'll-
2 weeks.
Wow.
2 weeks. Whatever.
I will see you.
You after.
After